and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 Virtual Racing League. And today we are finally arriving at the last round of the Ginetta GT5 and Ginetta Junior MultiClass Championship. There you have on the screen the calendar of events, and today it's round 12, Dubai Club. The tension is absolutely unbearable here on the grid. I can just feel it in the air. There's a championship up for grabs in the GT5 and also in the juniors. 1 point in it separating the juniors, and just a handful of points as well separating it in the GT5s. As you can see on screen there, Alex CDL versus Chris Doherty for the crown here today. Free Gazelle's a little bit too far behind, but he's still got a great battle on with Subrosa there for third. Big Bad Wolf looks comfortable for fifth, with Stalker Brown and Cherryberry battling it out as well there. And then in the juniors, Stu Davis and Scuderia Sam, pretty much whoever finishes in front of the other will win today. So that'll be really entertaining to see what happens there. Roger the Dodger, the informed man has to be said. Roger the Dodger recently, he's run quite a lot of races recently. So we have to wait and see if he can get in the mix, and never count out D-Man or Luke McGee either. Team standings is pretty much wrapped up. Team Spin have won that, Team Island second. I think Sprosim G and Team Notmates, that could still switch around here today depending on how the results go. And then Free McCares and Roger the Dodger are quite close as well. So let's have a little look at the starting grid today, Alex, for the last time this season.
Yeah, the last qualifying session, and it's Alex that takes pole in the GT5s, closely behind is Stalker Brown, who splits the two championship rivals. Chris in third, Cherryberry fourth, Subrosa in fifth, so not a great qualifying for him. The last winner, Free Gazelle, in sixth, and Stewpot in seventh, so Stewpot returns to GT5s. And in juniors, you've got Stew on pole position, so that'll be a great advantage for him. Roger in second in a special green livery. Sam in third, so he'll be wanting to get as close to Stew as he can. D-Man fourth. A new driver in Barca Andy with Luke McGee and Twingo-tastic.
Yeah, can't wait for this one. How's it going to shape up? We've got 23 laps to decide the championship, and the revs rise, and we're underway for the last time now in the GT5 and Junior Ginetta Championship. And off the grid to go is Stalker Brown, who snatched the lead there from Alex CDL by the looks of it, heading out to turn one's downhill. Right-hander, tricky corner here, and perfect for the odd lunge or two. So we have to wait and see if anyone goes for it or if anyone's playing it safe. It looks like Chris there, he's going for it on Alex CDL. Oh, he gets up on the curve on two wheels, he nearly takes out Stalker Brown ahead of him, but just about manages to slow the car down in time, and he's got ahead of Alex, and he really needed to take that. Oh, he's got ahead of Stalker Brown too. The two championship contenders are first and second now in the GT5s, with Chris ahead of Alex. Oh, bang, as D-Man there getting punted slightly by Luke McGee. Luke McGee didn't like the look of that green car in front of him, so just decided to remove it from his sight. And Alex CDL now chasing hard on Chris Doherty. Oh, and tangling, the two championship rivals tangling together. And in the juniors as well, it's hard action going on. Stu Davis is round the championship leader there. Is round, and that cedes the position to, I think that was in the green car. That was Roger the Dodger in the special green car, wasn't it? And also his nemesis, Scuderia Sam, for the championship. So Scuderia Sam now is in a position to win the junior championship if he can stay there. It's an awful long way to go here, and Chris Doherty will have to hope that Alex CDL slips back a little bit, as we see a car still stationary on the grid there. I think that was just ghosted nose. Cherryberry looks like he's had a bit of an incident, and now down into turn one, biting on board with Alex CDL. He's looking to the inside, he's going to lunge, he's hard on the brakes late, and Chris Doherty sees it coming. He tries for the switch back now, get a clean exit, and he's got a really good exit here as Chris, but he gets on that curb slightly, he compromises his exit a bit, and Alex CDL now takes the position away from Chris Doherty. So terrible bit of news for the Irishman here.
Yeah, it's not great at all, but you see Chris fighting back. He's got on the inside for this next corner. That's ideal. If he breaks a bit later, I just won't give him that, even though it's ideal for him. It's side by side for the tricky chicane. Alex lets him go fast. Neil's close to the action. And, back in June, he's got D-Man now battling with Twingo-tastic, and Loopy's been investigated for that collision with D-Man. Looks like almost an action replay as they go side by side again. Twingo-tastic round the outside. That's very close. Good driving between the two of them, but Twingo-tastic just takes it. But D-Man will be trying to fight back as he won't make places.
Absolutely, and I don't know if the virtual marshals, whether they're going to move that virtual car off the grid or not, of Cherryberry there. Unfortunately, it looks like we've lost him from the race. And for the lead here. We've got 5 cars involved in the lead here. With Chris Dawsey now back ahead of Alex CDL, and a big gap in the middle for Alex to go through if he wanted, but he didn't quite do it this time. He's just shaping his rival up. If you were Alex here, I mean, you must be thinking, well, I've got the championship, I should just stay in second, but look at those cars waiting to pounce behind. If Alex CDL falls to the back of that pack and can't work his way back through, Chris could win the championship here.
Yeah, I think he's got to keep that in mind. That's why he's pushing. I don't think that is actually Cherry Berry on the grid. I think that's Stu. It looks like he's out of the juniors, sadly. It must be a connection issue. But you see, Stu looks like he's on the back of who is that? Oh, back of Sam. So this is for championship, and they got the, as he said, the informed Roger now trying to get past both of them. Stu won't want to hold him up too much, but then he won't want him to get between both the himself and Sam.
Yeah, it's right on board now. Roger the Dodger, he just wants to get ahead and win this one, but he's finding himself well and truly in the thick of the championship fight here, so it'll be interesting to see whether he plays it safe or whether he just goes for it. At the moment, he's absolutely going for it, and these three are absolutely going for it for the win here today, no matter what happens. And now back with the GT5s, it's Chris Doddy trying to defend from Alex CDL, who goes right round the outside. It'd be a great move if he pulls this one off, but he just runs a little bit wide to the soft camber. Then Stalker Brown follows him as well, follows the same line and goes off too. But he's got a great exit, look, and Chris Doddy can't defend that one in time. And Alex CDL slots back through into the lead. A great race between these two veterans of the racing league. And in the juniors now, it's still Stuart Davis trying to get past Goodrear Sam. He's just shaping him up, I think, and biding his time a little bit. But Roger the Dodger as well, he'll be wanting to get past as soon as he can too. And we've seen this actually in the and he makes a move now down the inside. Oh, he pushes Stuart Davis slightly wide and off the track, and well, he's not biding his time anymore, is he? As well and truly gloves off, and now he's going for the lead. Goodrear Sam's lead now is under threat, and Stuart Davis right round the outside, and he just about runs out of road. Great racing between these three.
Yeah, I think that orange and black car might be turning blue on the inside with that move from Roger pushing him out wide, but it almost worked out for him. But if I was Stu, I'd let Roger go now. He's got the pace, and what he can do is try and upset Sam. I wouldn't bother fighting with him, and hopefully those two tangle, because there's twice now Roger and Stu have tangled, and it's cost Stu time.
Yeah, very good point there, Alex. And that's chicane that they were coming through there. As we look at Stalker Brown now, he's just going through. Oh, it's a GT5 car, I think he's just going through there. Just lapping one of the other cars. Coming back on the inside though. Is this a GT5?
I'm not sure. It might be Sabrosa, he might be in a different livery as last race. You can choose. Yeah. Oh, that's Cherry Berry off into the barrier, and around he goes.
Yeah, Cherry Berry just lost it there, and yeah, sorry, Stalker Brown versus Sabrosa. Sabrosa usually in the blue machine. Today he's in a slightly different livery. I think all the drivers have picked, well, not all the drivers, a lot of the drivers have picked a slightly different livery, haven't they, for the last race of the season? Some special livery, and Stalker Brown now in a really good fight with Sabrosa. Great to see those two battling away there. Back with the juniors, it's Stuart Davis, who's just dropped away a little bit now from Roger the Dodger. Maybe he was listening to your advice there, Alex, and he's let Roger the Dodger go to chase after Goodrear Sam. So we'll really have to wait and see if that tactic works or not. Still a long way to go in this race, but the tyres have been a bit of an issue for the drivers in practice. We'll have to see if that comes into play. Yeah,
especially the juniors. The front left was on fire by the end of the race. 5-second penalty for Loopy on that collision with D-Man. So where's he on the Loopy at the moment? Loopy is 13th in last place, so it shouldn't affect him too much unless he gets past Tokarandi, newcomer to the league. But back in GT5, Sabrosa still ahead of Stalker Brown, and it looks like, is that Freegazelle going past the juniors? It looks so. Where is he? Freegazelle is 6th, so I think he's pitted early.
Yeah, I think so, Alex. I think Freegazelle, winner from the last race in Nürburgring, of course. He certainly looks like he's pitted early. He's 37 seconds off the lead here now. So we'll have to wait and see where he feeds back into the equation. But he's got some nice open space ahead of him. So if he can make hay where the sun shines here and get the pedal down, he might be able to come back out in, well, 3rd or 4th place, maybe even challenging the leaders, because the GT5 field is pretty bunched up at the moment. It could be anyone's game still.
Yeah, it could be a smart tactic play, and we could get some really good undercut, because looking at the timing board, Alex and Chris are still battling away up in the front, and then Stalker Brown and Sabrosa are also battling, so that's 2 different battles, and it could really play into his hands. So we see Chris now falling back slightly. It's almost a second gap, but he might be just trying to cool his tyres down before the pit stop. or allowing Alex to deal with the traffic and he gets through on a different point, because you see that there's not an ideal place to catch a back marker, or a bit of rubbing there, but he's got him through.
Yeah, thankfully for Chris's sake, didn't lose too much time there. I think it was Luke McGee possibly that he was trying to pass. But yeah, Chris now, he really needs to try and do something about that Alex CDL, pesky Alex CDL up ahead, because he's going to run away with the championship as it is at the moment. So Chris needs to pass him and hope that the others pass him as well, because I think Alex needs to finish well down in 5th, or yeah, I think maybe 5th place or something like that, in order for Chris to win the championship. So yeah, it's looking like a tall order at the moment, but in the juniors, there's still all to play for at the moment, because championship rivals there, Scuderia Sam and Stuart Davis, are only separated by 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's really close between those two. They got Roger separating the two of them, but Stu's falling back a bit now, but anything can happen around here. And you see Roger catching up to Sam up front. Awful understeer. You can really see that front hold it. Oh, he just got it. That's great car control there, but you can see the understeer is awful. That front left is screaming for mercy, and it's just not letting up.
Yeah, and as these tyres wear, it's going to be really tricky through that chicane, especially taking those curbs. So can the drivers ride these curbs much, or are they just too punishing?
As long as you're careful. I know GT5s are a bit tricky on some of the curbs, and see Stu a bit sideways there in the background. I think it's all about throttle control on these curbs, because they can spin you, especially a few of them will find that. And Roger looking outside, looking inside. He's definitely letting Sam know he's there, and will Sam just let him pass?
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't really covering the inside particularly there, Scuderia Sam, but Roger the Dodger is saying, yeah, I'm here, let me through. But yeah, I don't know, maybe he just didn't want to pass it and make too much of a risky manoeuvre. Talking of risky manoeuvres, I think that was Alex CDL going down the inside there of a number of cars, because there was absolute traffic jam going on in turn 1 for a second.
Yeah,
it was Alex CDL.
Yeah,
Chris is ahead.
Yeah, I think he must have got caught out, and Chris took advantage of it, so Alex is trying to chase him again.
Incredible. So Stalker Brown now rising on board, almost 3 abreast as they go into the really tight, tricky chicane now. Stalker Brown coming on the inside of, I think it was the junior car of D-Man there, the green machine. Yeah, gets through, and Stalker Brown chasing hard after Subrosa. Those two are having a really good little ding-dong, aren't they? And I don't know about you, Alex, but I feel like Roger the Dodger's got more pace here if he wants it, but he's just playing the long game as a cone goes flying somewhere in the background. As we see Alex CDL coming into the pits.
Yeah,
cone abuse.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to stay in the slipstream. Saying that, it looks like he's going through, and I think that might be Sam flashed him through, saying, "Go ahead, I don't want to be in this battle. I want to be stuck with battling with Stu and trying to stay ahead." So I think it's just going to be an easy pass for Roger. Get on the inside, and Sam not even fighting that one. That's going to be quite easy. And they might also be flashing D-Man through. They both go very wide, so that's courteous of the juniors. Didn't have to do it. The GT5s have to work their way around the juniors, but they know what's at risk here.
Yeah, tactical decision there by Scuderia Sam. Did not want to get into that fight too much and just keep his eyes on Stuart Davis behind him. But Stuart Davis closed in by a second on that last lap, where they're all sorting themselves out in turn 1. After a terrible lap beforehand, we see Alex CDL coming out of the pits. Stuart Davis is right back in the thick of it now. So you'll have to wait and see whether Roger the Dodger pulls away or not. I suspect he will, to be honest, considering the pace he's had in recent races. Looking at Free Gazelle now, so he's in 5th place. He's 5 seconds off Alex CDL, who is the provisional leader, or could be the provisional leader, depending on where Chris comes out. So Free Gazelle is really back in the fight here. As we look at Stalker Brown now, he's ahead of Subrosa. Is Subrosa coming in the pits? It looks like he is. I think Subrosa's in the pits, Alex. Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
that confirms that he's in the pits. And talk about pace. Free Gazelle's really putting in some laps there. He's at 107.3, so whether he's changed tyres or whatnot, it's really helping him. He's putting the fastest laps in. That's putting him back into contention, like you just said. But back in juniors, it definitely looks like Stu's caught up to the back of Sam. So whether Sam's trying to nurse the tyres so they're not too bad, but that could play into the hands of Stu nicely.
Yeah, we're halfway now through this race, and the tyres will definitely be screaming. Oh, as Alex CDL closes fast up the back there of, I think that was Tosser Andy, maybe. Looks like it in the yellow car. So, sorry, welcome to the championship, by the way, Andy. Not used to your livery, so I think that was you, though. And as we see Sabrosa exit the pits now, and he's just behind Free Gazelle. Look, there's Free Gazelle flashing by, and Sabrosa nearly runs a little bit wide there as he comes through turn 2, and he's back on his way again now. So he's just a few seconds behind Free Gazelle. So I think that's a change there. Free Gazelle was he ahead before? I can't remember.
No, Free Gazelle's made that undercut work beautifully as the other lot were battling, so that's changed position in the pits.
Yeah, he's really come on song, hasn't he, in the last couple of races. He's taken some advice from the drivers, he's calmed down a bit, and he's playing a lot more of a tactical game. When to be quick, when to make the overtakes, when to fight, when to give up positions, and it seems to be working for him as he took a win after losing a bit of form in the middle of the season, has to be said.
He said he was I believe he won the first round all the way back at Brands Hatch, if you remember, so that he's had a couple of wins already, and Stalker Brown coming out the pits. This will be vital, see where he comes out, whether he's jumped Alex or whether he's jumped Sabrosa, and more importantly Free Gazelle, who's right on the back of well, not right in the back, he's very close to Alex, so that's not ideal for Stalker Brown, who could possibly lose 2 places here. Around the outside, yeah, he's lost a whole heap of time in 2 places. That's not great for him, but Sabrosa really wide. So that's Stalker Brown back through, and is he going to try on Sabrosa as well? That's his teammate in the juniors as well. It's a good little battle between these two.
Yeah, great little battle. Sabrosa just ahead of Stalker Brown, but Stalker Brown's having none of it. He's looking down the inside, and Sabrosa cuts to the inside as they head into the tricky chicane now. He's run a little bit deep though, but if you're neat and tidy through here, you can get a great exit, and then into the sort of double apex type of corner, left-hander here. A good exit out of here means you carry that speed all the way down to the last corner and all the way down on the straight as well. So Sabrosa really has to defend for his life in these early stages now after they both exit the pit lane, and you can hear the fans in the background there barking away. They're getting really excited by this one.
Yeah, they're definitely enjoying it, as we see Stuart really close to the back of Sam now. Sam's having to defend the inside. That's going to cost him on the outside. As you see, he goes wide. Stuart try and get the cut back. Sam in the middle of the track trying to stop him. Covering the next corner. So don't really know the corner names around here, so I'll have to try and make them up. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, that's not very good. Will he hold it? Yeah, luckily there's loads of runoff. Good car control, they're holding it with Sam around the outside, so still keeps position. Probably would have had to give position back if he went ahead, as he wasn't ahead as he was overtaken, but this is brewing up nicely for the championship fight.
Yeah, and these two had a bit of a coming together last time out, didn't they, in Nürburgring? As we see, the GT5's coming through. Now this is Free Gazelle, who's absolutely on the roll. He just about nips through on the inside as Stuart Davis runs off the track to avoid it. He's got his teammate coming up too. No love lost between these two. Alex DDL now, will he wait for the straight or dive down the inside? He waits for the straight, he does. He's chasing hard. So Free Gazelle now is ahead of Alex DDL, by the way. Everybody talked about that. He's ahead of Alex CDL. So Free Gazelle's having a fantastic race here. He's only got Chris Doughty ahead of him, who hasn't made his pit stop yet. We'll have to wait and see where Chris comes out. But back with the action, and it's Stuart Davis now in... oh no, that's Alex CDL. Alex CDL's trying to annoy Scuderia Sam a bit here to help his teammate out a little bit. It's probably the first time this season he's helped his teammate out, according to Stuart Davis anyway. And Stuart Davis, though, is still a car length or so behind Scuderia Sam. But this is for the championship now, Alex. This is really important, high pressure times. After all the races we've had, after all the battles we've had between these two, all the coming together as they've had, and this is where it really matters.
Yeah, definitely. You see Alex, I think, playing games with Sam then, trying to help his teammate, but I think Alex knows he's got a championship advantage. He has to be careful though. He's only 3-4 seconds ahead of Stalker Brown, so he does have to be careful. I don't think he cares really about Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle's gone off into the distance now, changed to the win. Especially as Chris has yet to pit. I think he's the only GT5 that hasn't pit. I think we've lost Cherry. Yeah, we lost Cherry Berry as well, unfortunately. So GT5 gone, and that's a bit awkward there for Stu, especially with the two GT5s and one of them out of control. I think that was Sabrosa pushing really hard going on the inside. They won't want to see that in the mirrors.
Yeah, Sabrosa had a really big wobble coming out the last corner. I thought he was going to spear across the track there and take out Stuart Davis. Can you imagine? Oh, and down the inside goes Stuart Davis on Scuderia Sam. He's got the lead of the championship now, but Scuderia Sam fights back on the inside and he gets the better exit. A great little manoeuvre there though from Stuart Davis, and Scuderia Sam now will be wise to that one next time around. So it really is bubbling up nicely now. Stuart Davis again now looking for the cutback here as they go around the right-hander. Will he ever go into the tight chicane? He's got a great run here. He's on the inside. Yes, he goes for it. Great defensive driving from Scuderia Sam, but it's not quite good enough as Stuart Davis moves into the lead ahead of Scuderia Sam. Fantastic driving between the pair of them.
Yeah, that was a brilliant setup. Stu knew where to set the car up to get the run so he could work, but you can really see the two different driving styles here. Sam's quite smooth and methodical where he's putting the car. Stu was right on the edge. The car's slipping and sliding over it. That's going to be killing his tyres, and there's still quite a few laps to go here, and his tyres may give up towards the end, so that might cost him.
Yeah, of course, and we'll have to wait and see what happens, but look, Scuderia Sam's got a great slipstream here. He's got his lights off, now on again. Not sure whether that helps or not, but he's really in slipstream. Is he going to pull out the slipstream? Yes, he is, to the inside lines. Stuart Davis has left the inside open, and it looks like Scuderia Sam's going to dive and brake a little bit later here, and Stuart Davis is going to look for the cutback. Oh, but Scuderia Sam manages to cover off the inside quite nicely, or has he though? No, he hasn't, look, and through the second part of that corner, now exiting it, Stuart Davis has managed to get alongside, but will he be able to stay there as they head through the tight left-hander? And he does. Scuderia Sam leaves him room, but he's going to try the cut back now, and it just about hits the back of Stuart Davis. He's going into the wall. Oh, just about manages to save it. Both of them there nearly crashed into each other.
Yeah, that was super close. Both of them almost spearing off into the barriers there, and you see Sam just trying to avoid him again, cutting the course a bit. I wonder what's that about, unless he feels a bit aggrieved by something, but away we go. Sam needs to do all the work now to get the championship back as we go to Ginetta and then Needless's Barca Andy. So nice little battle here in the juniors, not the main battle we'll be focusing on, but really shows us no matter how fast you are, there's always a battle brewing.
Well, that's the great thing about this league, isn't it? We've said it time and again, and throughout the league's history, there's always somebody to battle, and in this case, on this day, in this track, it's Barca Andy battling with the tyre barrier, and Twingo-tastic. Twingo-tastic now looking in his mirrors, wondering where on earth that yellow and black car has gone, but there he is, he's back on his way again. It's Tossa Barca Andy. And yeah, like you say, Alex, always a battle going on, and I thought he was going to head for the break-in board there as well.
Yeah, may as well just destroy everything whilst you take the barrier up. I wonder if that'll be a hindrance to the other drivers that won't realise what's has happened coming around here, especially if you're not sure that will cause damage to your car. Obviously not full damage, as you see Loopy going very wide there before he getting out of the way of Chris, who's being chased by Alex. So this is quite a surprise. Freakazel's gone off into the distance. It's his win to lose, really, but it's not great news for Chris, who needs that win.
Yeah, of course, Chris Dawsey here, he came out of the pits and he's behind Freakazel now, who's had an absolutely... Well, we could see it coming, we said it, didn't we, Alex? We could see that he pitted early, got the nice clean air and banged some really fast laps in. He's still banging fast laps in, he's the fastest driver on the track at the moment. And yeah, Chris Dawsey doesn't seem to have much of an answer at the moment, and he's very even on pace with Alex Adele. So both the championship rivals here looking at each other, and Freakazel's gone, yeah, I'll nick that win if that's right then, thank you very much. We'll have to see if he keeps it on the road though as we look at Roger the Dodger. Talking of winning, this man's been in form, he's won more races than anyone else this championship, I think, but fortunately for him, lost a few points at the start of the championship, otherwise he'd be well in the championship hunt. Yeah,
sadly missed a few rounds, so that's cost him, but like he said, he's won the most junior rounds out of anyone. It's just, obviously, you've got to be there in it to win it, and unfortunately he wasn't at the start. But talk about in it to win it, you see Stu is sliding that junior round, desperately trying to win this championship.
Yeah, the tyres will be absolutely screaming, and I think maybe some of the GT5 drivers will have taken on tyres, but the juniors, of course, they don't pit, so they wouldn't have.
There was a talking point with GT5 on whether to actually pit for, because you can change just the fronts, and it was an idea, but I think it would have cost too much time, so I don't think many have done it, if any. Possibly Freakazel with how good his lap times are, especially on such fresh tyres, and that's very wide there from Stu. Looks like he's going a bit wide. That's going to cost his exit, so I'm going a bit wide to get a better exit. plus he'll have slipstream on this. It's not the longest straight, but it's long enough, especially on a downhill bit, so you can have a nice dive. You can just see how good that slipstream is. He's properly catching up. It's almost like he's got a harpoon on the back of it and just turning himself in. Will he go for a dive? He's looking at it. That's a huge dive. On the inside, that's really unsettled Stu. Stu was going to turn in. He had to back out of it, otherwise that was going to be a big crash, and it's really put him off, and that's caused him to go wide and lose a whole host of time. You see him flash a bit there. I think he was either congratulating him on that dive or just trying to say what he felt. But that was a great move by Sam, and it really caught him by surprise. And someone's in the barrier in the distance, sir.
Yeah, halfway down the straight. Not sure how that happened. Subrosa, is it in the pits? It looks like it. In pit garage 5C, as the cameraman zooms in. Looks like he's retired from this race, sadly. Subrosa, as he drops back on the time screen. And you can see Alex Adiel right with Chris Doherty now. So whilst Scuderia Sam has provisionally snatched the lead of the championship here by overtaking Stuart Davis in the first corner, will Alex Adiel confirm his championship by overtaking Chris Doherty here on track? So we'll have to wait and see. We're riding on board with him now. Chris Doherty knows that you can't really do much here about it. It's just a matter of time, unless Alex Adiel disconnects or something at this stage. So yeah, it must be quite hard for Chris Doherty right now.
Yeah, it's not ideal. As I said, there's always a chance of disconnect or a massive spin or crash with Alex, but 3 laps left. There's always the chance of Chris bringing out the old dirty tactics and biffing Alex straight off into the barrier. But I don't think Chris will do that. He's a pretty fit racer. Will Alex go with Sam here? No, he's actually braked quite early there. Whether he's letting Chris outbrake himself, make him think he's going for a move, and Chris does go quite wide, and that's giving Alex a great run on the inside. Obviously outside for the next corner, which won't be ideal. Just brakes pretty late. Will he go wide again? We won't see as we cut back to juniors. Stu's closed up the gap again, so he's got the pace. He's just trying to stay in front of Sam at the right point.
Well, the last time we had a battle for the lead of the championship and the lead of the well, it's not the lead of the race actually, is it, this one, but lead of the championship anyway, was with these two, Alex Adiel and Chris Doherty, in the Clio Cups, when they come around the last corner, and it was a drag race to the line to see who would win that championship. Imagine if we get the same today with the juniors.
It'd be brilliant, but even though these two battle again, it could always be a case of if they catch up to... Oh, it looks like they are catching up, they're in the distance, so Alex could abandon this battle and help his teammate out if he was nice, but like we said, they're not called worst teammates for any reason. They don't really get along very well, as we see Stu really pushing. That's Alex down the inside, that's a big dive. Will he go too wide? Not that wide. Held it. Yeah, that's quite good. That's going to be a kick in the teeth for Chris, really. Really confirms the championship. As I said, unless Alex decides to help his teammate, but I don't think Stu will want that at the moment. He's in his own groove and be trying to get past. We see Frigazal now coming up onto these two. That's the last thing they'll want.
Yeah, well, Frigazal's got only 1.5 seconds or so to Alex Adiel, so Frigazal really needs to push on here. He's got a lap to go after this one as well, so he's trying to pick his way through. You can see, look, the battling pair of Chris Doherty and Alex Adiel in the background. So we're going to have in a second the battling championship rivals in both classes coming together on the same bit of circuit. This is going to be incredible.
Ooh, that's Alex on the inside. That's not going to help Stu. He's hit him again.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It's not gone well. I think they hit a couple of rounds ago, so or whether it was Nürburgring or something like that.
It's every round.
Yeah, it's not the worst they've come together. But that's really put Stu out of the fight. He's second down now, so he's going to be not happy, let's say.
Yeah, and heading into the last lap too. There's only 1 lap left to make amends here. The Scuderia Sam holding a slight margin, second, like you say, over Stuart Davis. And look, Chris Doherty's back ahead now of Alex Adiel. So these two are going right to the line here, as are in the juniors as well. Roger the Dodger and Frigazal look like they're going to wrap up the wins here, unless they make any big errors. And Stuart Davis still absolutely throwing everything at this, trying to get back with... Oh, he nearly loses it. You can see how hard he's driving here, trying to get back with Scuderia Sam here to pass him. Is he going to be close enough for a dive down into the last couple of corners here? He's really overdriving that car. You see it sliding around on the edge. And spinning around is Chris Doherty and Alex CDL. And Alex CDL here carries on his way. Chris Doherty gets underway now too as the leaders of the juniors come through. Coming up to the last corner. What on earth is going to happen here? Stuart Davis still hunting down Scuderia Sam as Freakazel takes the win. And this is Alex CDL now on the last corner. And he goes down the inside of Scuderia Sam and runs wide. Stuart Davis now going for the line. And it's Scuderia Sam who just about comes over the line ahead of Stuart Davis to take the championship. And Alex CDL just ahead of Chris Doherty in the end there as well. What a finish that was.
Yeah, that was a brilliant finish. Both championship battles over the line at the same time. I think Alex trying to make amends and pushes Sam wide. You see Twingo-tastic battling with Luke McGee. Luke McGee does overtakes him on the last lap. I think this is for championship position as well. As we see Buster Andy just ahead. So good finish from him. Where is he? It looks like 5th in the juniors. So that's a good first race debut. And it looks like Loopy's going to take points over Twingo, and that's exactly what he needs. And we see the junior race winner there, pretty much unstoppable the last few rounds in Roger.
Yeah, but he didn't get passed by the GT5, so he has to finish this lap all by himself, I think. But yeah, great win there by Roger the Torture, and battles all the way through the field. And what a way to end this championship. A really fitting way, I think, in the end.
Yeah, it was good battles and a bit of chaos, and that definitely sums up this championship. But as you see, the final driver stand is Alex CDL takes GT5 honours and Scuderia Sam takes junior honours. Close behind is obviously Stu, 1 point. He'll be absolutely devastated by that. And then Chris with 79 points in the GT5 in second.
Yeah, and the midfield was close. Freakazel taking third, just ahead of Sabroso, disconnected unfortunately by the looks of it tonight. And then Roger the Dodger manages to beat D-Man into third in the juniors. And yeah, battles all the way through the field. What a great championship that was. Team Spin, Team Island and Sabroso McGee are the top 3 in the team standards. And Team Notmix slipped to 4th place there. Free McAirs, Roger the Dodger won. Crash and Bash, we didn't have any of the Crash and Bashes actually with us tonight. Big Bad Wolf or BTCC Dan, so hopefully they can return for the next championship. They finished 1 point ahead of Twingo Tastic, and there you can see confirmation of the Drivers Champions.
Yeah, we got, as I said, GT5 Alex CDL and Junior Scuderia Sam, so not surprising really when you look at their records. I think Sam on 6 championships now, Alex on 5, so they're the most winningest drivers. I don't know if that's a word, but there's, and then there's team champions is Team Spin, which is quite unlikely with how they been getting on with each other, but it's quite...
They didn't actually spin that much recently though, in fairness to them.
Yeah, that's true, they just hit each other off the track.
Yeah, pretty much. But after that multi-class chaos we've had this championship, it'd be quite nice to see all the drivers battling once again in the same class, hopefully, in the next championship, which will be announced shortly on the Facebook page. So if you've enjoyed following this one, head over there and see what the next championship is and get your name in, get your gamer tag in, and you can join in on all the fun and games as well in the next championship, which will be starting in the new year, I think, Alex, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. In the new year, there's quite a few options that'll be put up, so if you really want to get in, vote for what you want, and hopefully you'll be joining us.
Absolutely. So yeah, thank you from myself and from Alex as well for watching, and hope you've enjoyed as much as we have covering this epic championship, has to be said. And yeah, see you in the new year, and Merry Christmas.